State troopers have two words for motorists on I-20. Slow down.
A stretch of very nice weather headed to East Alabama for the next several days. We'll have the complete forecast details coming up.
Coming up in sports, a local team has brought home their third straight state championship. Three local wrestlers right here in East Alabama also brought home a state championship this past weekend. Baseball season was in full swing. It continues tonight, and so does softball. We have all the latest right here. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
State troopers from the Jacksonville and Birmingham Highway Patrol Post conducted a traffic enforcement operation last week that was focused on speeding violations on Interstate 20 in Talladega County. During the course of this event, troopers issued more than 300 citations for speeding along that busy interstate. Also during that time, the troopers stopped several vehicles that were traveling over 100 miles an hour. Officials with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency say that the enhanced patrols are one way they're trying to slow down the drivers who are making these roads more dangerous by traveling at such speeds. Troopers blame those speeding violations for many of the traffic deaths that are reported along Alabama's highways, especially on the interstates.
The Anniston Police Department is investigating the case of a missing man. He's identified as Caleb Hughes Austin, and he's been missing since last Friday. He was last seen wearing a gray hoodie, black shirt, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. Austin is 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighs 269 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information about his location is asked to call the Anniston Police Department at 256-238-1800.
And when we return, Gadsden State's nursing students are batting 1,000.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Gadsden State Community College's nursing program has received a perfect grade for its 2023 class. All of the students who took the Registered Nursing and Practical Nursing Programs examinations last year passed on their first attempt and earned the Gadsden State program a 100% pass rate for both credentials. Dr. Cynthia Mullinax, director of the nursing program, says passing those tests is a huge milestone that unlocks the gateway for the students' professional dreams. According to the National Council of State Boards of Nursing, the national pass percentage for registered nurses with associate degrees is 87.75%, while the licensed practical nurses pass rate is 86.67%. In Alabama, 87.5% of first-time test takers pass. The pass rate for RNs earning a credential at Gadsden State has improved by 28% since 2020. And by 15% since 2021. Mullinax gave credit for the perfect pass rate to the 16 nursing faculty and staff members at both the Anniston and Gadsden campuses.
And when we come back, it's signing time for one area football player.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
A football star from Cleburne County High School today signed on to play football next year for Lindsey Wilson College in Kentucky. Jake Dingler of Heflin was joined by his parents, Ty and Candace Dingler, and his brother, Cale Dingler, at today's signing ceremony.
Dingler has been playing football for Cleburne County since 7th grade, and he's also on the varsity baseball team. He joined the varsity football team in 10th grade. He made 106 tackles his senior year, and on offense, he had 90 carries for 545 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's projected to be a linebacker for Wilson, which plays in the Mid-South Conference. It's hard to believe we're already talking about football season.
That's right. Well, because they tend to sign things, I think, now. But I believe it's also baseball season just starting now.
It certainly is. And a lot of times when baseball season starts, boy, the weather is awful, rainy and cold. But I don't think we could have ordered up any better weather than what we have now.
It's very nice. Let's hope it stays this way for a while.
Well, let's hope that. And let's check in with John Holder so he can tell us what to expect. John?
Mike and Katie, get ready for some fantastic weather coming up. We're going to have the complete forecast for the work week for all of East Alabama next.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Temperatures about where they should be for this time of year across East Alabama today. Our average high temperature is now 60 degrees. That's rising by about a degree every couple of days. Our high today was 59 degrees under totally sunny skies. It was a cold morning this morning, 25 degrees, 13 degrees below the average this morning. We had a nice warm up though, and that made the day feel good once we got into the late morning hours. Record high temperature 78, the record low 9 degrees. The sun rising tomorrow at 6:23, and look at that sunset time now past 5:30 in the afternoon. Weather on your street on a Monday night, taking out to Bachelor Chapel Road in Hoax Bluff. One more night across East Alabama where we will be below freezing for most everybody. 31 tonight, not as cold as last night, but another chilly start as folks head into work and school, perhaps after the holiday today across East Alabama. As we look at tomorrow, the warming continues out on Fremont Road on McClellan. We're going to be back in the 60s area wide tomorrow, so we'll be a few degrees warmer tomorrow than today. Again, plenty of sunshine, no rain in the forecast. The high tomorrow at 62 degrees. And some nice weather coming up for the rest of the week. Homewood Drive in Oxford, mostly dry this week. The only kind of fly in the ointment will be late in the day Thursday and Thursday night. But for most of the week, we're going to be dry and we're going to warm up. Temperatures in the 60s and even some 70s coming up as we move through the next week here in East Alabama. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Nice weather on the agenda for not only tomorrow, but then Wednesday morning, we're in the upper 60s, or I should say Wednesday afternoon, upper 60s. Thursday, we're going to touch 70, that 20% chance of a shower, not until late in the day. The better chance will be overnight. Looks like we'll have some more rainfall in here. No storms or heavy rainfall expected, but we could have a good soaking rain for a couple of hours on Thursday night. That is out of here by Friday. A little bit of a cool down, but really not much. 64 for the high on Friday. A very nice weekend coming up as we close out the month of February. We're back in the mid-60s Saturday, back to 70 on Sunday, and back into the low 70s by Monday of next week. And in about 9 or 10 days, something like that, we're going to be looking at temperatures being the warmest we've seen this year. It looks like in about 8 or 9 days, we're going to see temperatures that are going to be up into the the mid-70s across East Alabama. And here's a look at that graphically. This is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, taking us all the way from February 27th through March 4th. And look at the way above average temperatures basically in the entire eastern half of the United States, including us in Alabama, looking at a 60 to 70% probability that temperatures are going to be above normal to close out February and to begin the month of March. We'll take it. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We'll have your complete day at a glance coming up tomorrow at 6 a.m. And then we will have, of course, EAN local news with you tomorrow night. I'll have the complete forecast for all of East Alabama in depth coming up tomorrow evening. Sports time now. Namath Pitts. He was at the state wrestling tournament in Huntsville over the weekend. A lot of good news for area teams. He's got the details now. Namath.
Thanks, John. The much-anticipated state wrestling tournament in Huntsville has come and gone, but it was much of the same when it comes to one local team who added to their trophy case. Andy Fulmer and the Weaver Bearcats made it back to back to back by winning their third straight state championship. It was not easy, though, and came in an unconventional way. Teams typically win a state championship by putting a lot of guys in the state finals, but Weaver only had one in the state finals. Weaver won the tournament by winning on the consolation side of the bracket. Weaver entered placement Saturday needing either Kel Fulmer to win or Asheville not to pin all three finals matches. But Asheville would pin the first one but win the second by decision, which clinched Andy Fulmer and the Weaver Bearcats their third straight state championship. Weaver qualified 13 wrestlers for the state tournament, with 8 of those placing. Kel Fulmer placed second, Peyton Andrews placed 6th, Hayden Heist placed 3rd, Dalton Fink placed 3rd, Dylan Brown placed 6th, Deshaun Kirby Barnes placed 4th, Caden Thornton placed 3rd, and Brandon Jolliffe placed 3rd. Jason Meter and the Ranburne Bulldogs qualified 5 wrestlers for the state tournament, and 2 of them made the state finals. Carter Driver came into the state tournament as a 4 seed in the 106-pound weight class, but he knocked off the number 1 seed in the semifinals, then beat the number 2 seed Kel Fulmer in the state finals by a 2-1 decision. Carter Driver was one of the most underrated 106s in the state of Alabama all season long. Ranburne has been known for having heavyweights win state championships, but they can now add 106 to the list after Carter Driver won the state championship this past weekend. White Plains added their 5th state championship in school history for wrestling when Mason Hom defeated Drake Wood from Reeltown by a 7-3 decision. Mason Hom made the state finals last season but lost to Jaden Rouse from Dora. But Hom finally got the state championship this year that he just missed last season. Mason Hom was dominant all season long, with his only loss coming by defensive pin in the sectionals finals. Hom won by pin, major decision, and decision to reach the state finals before winning that match by decision. The Mayfield name has etched the history books for a long time when it comes to Cleburne County wrestling, and another Mayfield etched his name in the history books by winning the 144-pound state championship this past weekend by pin over Drew Moore from Oak Grove. Austin Mayfield has made the state finals the 2 previous years, but lost both times. But third time's a charm, as they say, and it was certainly that for Austin Mayfield. He pinned his way through the state tournament, including the finals. Mayfield only had 1 loss this season, and that was to the eventual 150-pound state champion in Class 1A through 4A. It was a busy weekend on the diamond for local baseball teams. Oxford was in Birmingham, Alexandria was in Tuscaloosa, White Plains was at Raglan, and Jacksonville went head-to-head against Coosa. We have the results from this weekend. Alexandria played a doubleheader. They got a great duo on the mound this past weekend when Tripp Patterson and Samuel Henniger combined to only allow 4 hits. Tripp Patterson struck out 9 batters to help Alexandria beat Tuscaloosa County 3-0. But a part of that doubleheader, Tuscaloosa County won the other game by a score of 8-5. When it comes to batting, it was Brody Slayton, Ian Cartwright, and Eli Barnes, who each had a single and a run batted in for Alexandria as the Valley Cubs opened the season 1-1. Oxford opened the Travis Jansen season by sweeping the defending Class 7A state champions Vestavia Hills on Friday. R.J. Brooks was the ace on the mound against Vestavia, and then one day later, R.J. Brooks drove in 6 runs to help Oxford defeat Helena and move to 3-0 on the season. Brooks' RBI came from a homer and a double, as Forrest Heacock and Ty Gant also contributed for the Yellow Jackets by driving in 4 runs apiece. Oxford opens the season with one of the toughest schedules, but they look poised to make another run after beating Helena 15-4. The Blake Jennings White Plains era started with a win over Lincoln, and then it continued this past Saturday with a win over Raglan. Austin Kilgore struck out 4 batters while pitching 3 innings. Then Coleman Ray came in and pitched 2 innings of scoreless relief with 2 strikeouts. Coleman Ray has overcome adversity to be back on the mound after missing 22 months of pitching due to an injury. Ashton Wallace hit a double and drove in 4 RBIs, and Dalton Luker had a perfect day with a double and 3 RBIs, as Braxton Borrelli also drove in 3 runs as White Plains improved to 2-0 on the season. It's been a tough start to the season for the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. This past weekend, Gavin Pillar singled and drove in both of Jacksonville runs, but it would not be enough as the Golden Eagles fell to 0-3 on the season. Coosa Christian made the state semifinals 1 year ago and will be a tough outing again this season. For Jacksonville, the Golden Eagles are still seeking their first win of the season. John Holder just told us about the weather. The weather is looking good tonight for East Alabama fans. There are 5 games tonight that include teams from the East Alabama area, so here are the games for tonight. Coach J.D. Phillips and the Walter Welborn Panthers are on the road facing off against the Lions of Victory Christian. Now, I'm sure you thought that was the Lions of Detroit. Well, no, it is not. It is the Lions of Victory Christian down in Pell City. Welborn opens the season up on the road tonight as J.D. Phillips and the Panthers go to Victory Christian. Also tonight, Blake Jennings' team is 2-0 on the season, looking to make it 3-0 when they go on the road to Central Clay to face the Vols. Cooper Teeney and Braxton Curls have been the 2 leading pitchers for the Wildcats this early in the season. We'll see if either one of them takes the mound tonight. Tonight, Coach Welch's team, who split this past weekend with Tuscaloosa County, they are on the road tonight as Alexandria travels to Etowah. The Blue Devils of Etowah again are at home tonight. This should be a great baseball game as the Alexandria Valley Cubs travel up to Etowah. Also tonight, the Jacksonville Golden Eagles still seeking their first win of the season as Jamison Edwards and the Golden Eagles travel to Gadsden City to face the Titans. Gavin Peeler has been really good so far for the Golden Eagles. He plays catcher for them. We'll see if they can finally get that first win of the season tonight or if they go to 0-4 on the season. And then Coach Matt Dearman and the Piedmont Bulldogs will travel north as they travel to Gunnersville to face the Wildcats. Piedmont is very much experienced. McLean Mahone and a trio of other guys that contribute to this program that is not too long ago winning state championships, making the state finals. Piedmont looks poised to be good once again this season. Just like baseball, it's a great night to go support a local softball team. We have 4 games tonight here in East Alabama that include East Alabama teams. So let's take a look at the action for softball tonight. The Oxford Yellow Jackets have a doubleheader at home tonight against 2 different teams at Choccolocco Park. And the first team they're hosting is the Blue Knights of Arab. Arab will make the trip south tonight as they will face off against the Oxford Yellow Jackets. The other game that Oxford will play tonight as part of that doubleheader is the Lincoln Golden Bears. Coach Mullinax and the Golden Bears will make the trip to Oxford, and Lincoln has been a really good 5A program for a while. Arab's a really good 5A program or 6A program as well. As this will be a great game tonight as it is Lincoln, Arab both making the trip to Oxford to face the Yellow Jackets. Coach Atchley and the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, they have started the season on a split, and tonight the Golden Eagles are at home when they host the Wildcats of Sax. So the Sax Wildcats will make the trip to Jacksonville tonight to face the Golden Eagles as Coach Atchley's team's looking for their second win of the season. Coach Poe started the season with a win over Welborn and the Ohatchee Indians, led by, they got a couple of really good players, but Carden committed to Gadsden State, or signed with Gadsden State, I should say, has been a really good slap hitter for the Indians. The Indians are on the road tonight as they travel to face the Bulldogs of Asheville. And that's it for EAN Local Sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for the update, Namath, and we thank you for watching today.
You can find us here online every weekday on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or our website. Go to the platform of your choice and watch our news, sports, and weather whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Tuesday for your news on your schedule.